Hello, and welcome to the next video in my ongoing series, Skills for the Reality of Business. In this episode, we will be discussing how to navigate the problematic waters of dealing with the angry and many times vindictive individuals within the workplace environment. Now, just about everyone is familiar with the topic of anger management in the abstract psychological sense. However, the topic takes on an entirely different spin in the business world, and many professionals today are not prepared to deal with it effectively. This stems from the fact that what most professionals fail to realize is that not only do they have to control their own anger, but also the anger and negativity directed at them by other individuals in their environment. These outbursts can come from one or multiple sources. Examples include managers with an axe to grind, clients with a vendetta, customers who just want to ruin your day for kicks, or coworkers out to cause trouble for you on purpose. Failure to address these situations effectively can result in significant repercussions for you, up to and including job loss in some cases. Even worse, if you try to ignore these issues, you can ultimately become the office doormat for perpetual anger and unfair treatment by your peers and managers, resulting in much higher levels of stress for you. The overall message in this is quite simple. The corporate world is a dog-eat-dog environment, and if you do not take proper action, no one will do it for you. So what can be done here? Well, in order to avoid becoming a doormat for the anger and bad behavior of others, let's discuss a series of steps that you can use to keep things level. Step 1. Calm and center. The first step in the process is to calm and center yourself. Some people accomplish this with yoga and/or meditation. However, activities like this are not possible when it comes time to calm the self in the office, as you may only have a few seconds of preparation available before having to deal with a difficult situation. However, fortunately, every person already has a natural calming ability built into themselves. It's just a matter of learning to use it properly. How? Well, when faced with someone else's anger in the workplace, whether it be in person or through email and messaging, the first thing to do is simply breathe. In particular, focus on the exhale, as the exhaling of the breath is one of the body's most potent natural relaxation tools. The additional benefit here is that you will find that time seems to stop for just that moment, and in that moment, you can achieve a clear perspective, which then allows you to gain control of your emotions and ultimately focus on the next step. Determine the real cause. Once you have calmed yourself, you must determine the true cause of the encounter. Situations will vary, but here are some possible questions that you can ask yourself. Is there an actual issue that needs to be addressed, with the messenger just overreacting? Or is the issue an illusion, with the messenger just being antagonistic, looking to drag someone down with their bad behavior? These types of questions must be answered before proceeding with any action. Otherwise, you could end up in an even worse situation, making you look like the problem instead of the person who actually instigated the encounter. Once you have the answers you need, you can proceed with the next step, which is take action. Now it is time to diffuse the situation while simultaneously letting the other party know that their outburst will not be tolerated. Also, always remember that even if the issue that was raised is legitimate, a person still has the right to be treated as a human being and not as a punching bag. In order to properly diffuse a scenario like this, it is necessary to move the existing tone and energy in a positive direction. This does require a bit of finesse, and we'll discuss more on that in a moment. For now, the specific actions that you need to take will of course vary depending on your circumstances. However, situations will generally fall into one of the two following categories. If it was determined that a legitimate issue was the cause of the scenario, then sincerely apologize for the error. And if possible at the time, outline at least a few of the steps or actions that you will take to resolve the problem. Your degree of sincerity is pivotal here, as a sincere apology will significantly help to calm the other party in almost every case. Next, if you find that you need more time to research the cause and/or solution, then say so honestly, and let the other party know that you will send an update to them as soon as possible. Again, the goal here is to keep things moving in a positive direction. Now for the flip side. If it is determined that the instigator is just being antagonistic towards you, then a different approach is warranted. For example, if you receive an inflammatory email or memo that does not contain a true issue, and these are usually just a person ranting on without making a real point, then moving the energy to a positive tone can be done by starting your response with an expression of gratitude, such as, "Thank you for your suggestions. However," and then proceed from there. Remember to be assertive, direct, and above all, professional. The types of responses needed for this second example is where finesse really comes into play, and that brings us to the final step. Finish it. You must always tailor your responses to properly fit the situation at hand. However, no matter what, keep the response direct, non-confrontational, pleasant, and professional. Your goal here is to make your point and finish the conversation on your terms. Now, it bears repeating that while engaged in the action of diffusing a problematic situation, it is an absolute necessity that you do not allow yourself to lose control and subsequently be dragged down into the mud by the machinations of someone else's anger. If you allow that to happen, then suddenly you will find the tables turn, and it becomes the responder, namely you, who suddenly becomes the focus of the issue rather than the initial instigator. This then puts you on the defensive, which is a very difficult place to be in, and that is the ultimate trap of situations like these, so make sure you don't get caught in it. Now let's take a look at some final thoughts. Remember that maintaining a high level of calm and focus requires practice plus patience, as does learning how to finesse your responses. So be prepared for an occasional step backward, but don't be discouraged when that occurs, as that is part of the learning process. Also, a true professional should never be the one to start a fight, but they can always be the one to finish it, while amazing onlookers at the same time. Even better, among those impressed onlookers just might be managers or contacts who may have openings in their departments for better paying and more rewarding positions. And the good managers will always remember the highly skilled people who cross their path, even if it's years later. That concludes this episode. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe to the channel and also remember to follow me on Twitter and my blog at the links below this video to receive notification on upcoming episodes. Thank you for watching. Be well.